this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome to a new 1 hour crafting video. So today's episode is going to be a continuation of last week's because we're going to be using the folio that we created and we're going to be adding even more layouts. So if you were waiting for a part 2, this is the video for you. I want to make these folio even more interactive, more secret places, and I'm just super excited to continue building onto this. So for this book I am using heavyweight cardstock. This is 110-pound cardstock. I get that question all the time. So it is 110, or I believe it's 300 grams. And so yeah, so I get my cardstock at Michael's, and it is the Recollections brand. That's the one that I like to use. And so yeah, so we're gonna get going adding more features to the folio. So if you missed the video where we created this last week, I'm gonna have it linked below. I also have a cutting guide for the first part of this folio, and I'm going to be doing a part 2 cutting guide as well if you want to kind of have your pieces ahead, cut ahead. But anyway, let's do a quick walkthrough. So on the front here we have a double sliding page, and these two pieces or pages open up like that, and then everything goes back to place. I haven't put magnets in here, and I probably won't be decorating the folio today because I still don't have the magnets that I ordered, so I need the magnets to be able to add the paper. This over here opens up like this, and then this opens down, so we're going to be adding more features in here. And then we have this piece that opens up, opens to the side, opens up, and opens to the side here as well. And then at the center this opens up, and then we have another double flap thing going over there as well. So like I said, we're going to be adding a couple more features into this folio here. So we're going to start with our heavyweight cardstock, and the first thing that I'm going to do is add to this front panel. So we are going to put this to the side. We're going to cut two pieces at 7.5. Let's do it this way. And this is going to be by 3 3/8, so that is going to be right here, and again 7.5 by 3 3/8, and then we're going to score both of these pieces at 1/2 inch along the 3 3/8. So I'm just gonna put those right here, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and same with the other piece here. We're going to score at 1/2 inch and fold along the score lines. So we're gonna fold and fold, and then we are going to open up our folio, and we are going to add these two pieces on this front. And so we're going to add the glue on each side and or on this section, and place this one on each side here. So I'm just gonna hold this and press down. So we're placing this on top of that sliding page. Okay, and I am going to do the same for this side here. So I'm just gonna line up this to the edge, and the center should be able to meet, but I do have to kind of hold this and press down. Okay, so we're just gonna press down right here, and there we go. So we have our gatefold that's gonna go right at the opening section here. Now we are going to be adding some features on this side. And so this side panel here is about 5 3/4 by 8 1/2. So I am going to cut one piece here, or let's do 2 of these, and these are going to be 8 1/2. So I'm just gonna double check, and by 5 1/2. Okay, so we're gonna do 2, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch along the 5 1/2. Okay, so we're gonna do 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then we're going to fold along the score lines, and we are going to bring this back, and you want to add those two on this right panel. Okay, so let's add the glue, and we're going to again add one on each side. So you want to place that right next to your bending line and press down, and then we're going to place the other one on the other side here. So I'm just gonna add these and press down. Okay, so now we're going to cut 2 pieces, and let's do 5 1/2, also by 8 1/2. Okay, so again 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score this piece here along the 8 1/2. I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to score at 4 3/4. Okay, so again 1/2 inch and 4 3/4, and we're going to fold this in and fold the 1/2 inch section in as well. So both of these are gonna go on the same side like that, and we are going to bring back this, open it open, and then we're going to glue. Let's just keep it straight for now and glue this 1/2 inch section along the top. So I am going to line these up right at the center of those 2 panels. Okay, and then we're just gonna press down, and then this is going to open up, and then we're gonna fold this one in and close that. Okay, and do the same with the other side here. So we are going to add the glue, and then we're gonna place this one at the bottom, and then you want to center it and line it up to the one on top and press down. Okay, and then we're going to fold this and close. Okay, so now this is going to open and open and open and open, and to make this page even a little bit more fun, I am going to, we're gonna close this, close that, and then I'm going to cut another piece, and I'm gonna use this here. So this is going to be 3 1/2 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score these along the 8 1/2 at 4 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to fold along the score line, and we're going to cut another piece. I'm going to use this here, and actually instead of 3 1/2, I'm going to reduce this to 3 1/4, and then we are going to cut a piece that's going to be 4 1/4 by 1 1/2, and this is going to be our connector piece. So we are going to score along the 1 1/2 at 3/4 inches, and then just fold along the score line, And we are going to close these, and this connector piece is gonna go right here at the center of the right panel. So I'm just gonna add that connector, this little hinge here, place it at the center. Okay, and then we're gonna fold these, and on the top we're gonna glue that other piece, which is this one here. Okay, so we're just gonna put this right there on top and press down. Okay, so over here this is going to close, and then this whole thing is gonna close here on top, and this is going to open up like that. But I want to add one more feature there, because this book has to be fun and extra interactive. So I am going to cut one piece. This is going to be 1 inch by 9.5, and then we're going to cut another piece. I'm gonna use this little bit. This is going to be 1 inch by 3, and we're gonna make another one of those sliding pages, and I'm going to cut a page that is going to be 5, and I think I have to go this way. Let me see. It's gonna be 5 by 8.5. So I'm gonna cut this at 8.5 by 5. Okay, so we have that ready, and then this we're going to score. The long piece we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 9, and the little piece we're going to score at 1 1/8 and 2 1/4. And we're going to fold and add some glue, create our loop, and then this is going to go through our loop here, and we're going to add this piece over here on this opening flap. Okay, so we're just gonna add this over onto this side and add some glue and add some glue here. Okay, so we're gonna add this down to the left right here like that, and press down. Now we are going to push our loop all the way down, and we're going to add our piece that is 5 by 8.5, and we're just gonna put that here on top. So add the glue on that loop, and I'm sorry if it's probably hard to see black on black, but we're just adding glue on that little loop piece, and then we're just gonna press down, let this dry, and this is going to slide up and down. So we have our sliding page, and then we have our closure here. This is gonna close on top, and you're gonna add your magnet here because this also opens up. This opens to the side, this also opens here, and we already know we open and open and open and open. So really fun layout here. I do want to show you what collection I'm using to decorate these. So as you know, I'm going through my stash, so I am going to be using this collection called Glamour by Authentic. It has been on my stash for years. This is just the cover actually, but I have it all here. And this is leftovers from other projects. I don't really think I have a full collection, or I might have combined here 2 sets, and just whatever is left, that's what I have. But I love this collection. It's very shabby chic, very Breakfast at Tiffany's inspired, I think, and it's really cute. So I'm gonna be using that, and I have again all kinds of little scraps. So perfect project to use your scraps. And then the reason why I do this 4x3 here, I think there's a page, and I might just have scraps, but you can put a 4x3 card right there. So most collections have 4x3s, 4x6s, and so yeah, so one of those will probably fit in there. I'll do that later. Again, I need a magnet here. I need a magnet here. You probably need a magnet on this sliding page to keep this down. So I won't be decorating until I have the magnets. And I will show you where I'm adding the magnets. So if you're just a little patient, once again, my magnets, I'll do a whole other video just showing you how to place the magnets here. So that's going to be this whole right side. We have this one here now. Over here, I do want to add on the center an image from here, so I can probably put one of these or one of that as a centerpiece here to close that gatefold. But again, I will do that once I have the magnets glued down first. Okay, so we have our sliding feature and our gatefold here. So we're gonna now open this up, and we're gonna move to this panel that opens down. So as you might have seen on the first part of this folio, I created a 1/2 inch gusset here. So we do have some room to kind of add a little bit more to this, but I won't be adding it on the front. I'm gonna be adding it on the back. So we are going to put this whole thing. I love chunky folios, but also keep in mind we still have plenty of room to add paper and pictures and things like that. Okay, so we are going to now work on that back section. So I am going to cut another page here, and we're gonna do this at 5.5 by 7.5, and we're gonna do 2. Let's do this again here. 5.5 by 7.5, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch along the 7.5. So let's bring this here, 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch here, and we are going to fold along the score line and fold, and we are going to connect these two on the opposite side. So I have the score line here, and I'm gonna glue the other one on the other side and add the glue. Oops. Okay, and we're gonna put that right there like that and press down. Okay, then I am going to, and this is going to be added to that bottom section as an additional accordion fold, but before I do that, I'm going to just work on that separate piece here. So now let's add a piece that is going to be 8. We're going to do this at 5.5 by 8, and this is going to be a large pocket. So along the 5.5, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and along the 8 inches, we're going to score at 1/2, and at 7.5. And so we are going to cut the corners. This is going to be a pocket. Okay, fold along the score lines, fold and fold, and we're going to be gluing these pockets, but before we do that, we are going to add another feature. So we're going to use another piece that is going to be, I'm going to cut this at 5, and this is going to be by 6 3/4. Okay, 5 by 6 3/4 is going to be an insert for these pockets, but we are going to cut, again, use our scraps, cut another little piece at 1 by 3. We're gonna do the same technique, but this time we're gonna put it hidden inside the pocket. So 1 by 3, and then we're going to do this at 6.5. No, let's do this at 6. by 1. Okay, so 6 by 1, and we're going to score along the 6 inches at 1/2 inch and at 5.5, and along the 3 inches we're gonna do the same here, 1 1/8 and 2 1/4. And let's make the loop, add the glue, put this together. We're gonna pass this through right here and fold these 2 sides. Now we are going to add this little looping piece to the back of our pockets. Okay, so on the back of the pockets we are going to add these, and we're just gonna place that right there like that. Okay, and then press down, and then we are going to push our loop all the way out of, to the edge of the page, and we are going to glue our piece of cardstock here on top. So I'm gonna add glue on that loop. Remember to push it all the way to the right, and we're gonna match the edge to the edge of the loop here. So you're only gonna go in just a little bit right there like that, and press down. Okay, so now we have a sliding page inside our pocket, and we're going to be adding this pocket on top of our accordion fold piece. So let's glue this down first. I'm gonna open this up. This is gonna get a little long here, so I'm gonna just put it up there and open that. And now we're gonna open down. This is the flap that we're working on, and we're going to glue this accordion fold at the bottom right here. So we're gonna put that. Hope you guys can see that. Okay, so I'm gonna move this up a little bit. So this is that bottom flap, and we're just gonna glue it at the bottom edge. Add your glue. Okay, line this up, center it. This will be a little bit smaller than the page, so just center it side to side here, press down. And now we're going to add our sliding pocket. Okay, now make sure, this is the pocket here, that the 1/2 inch sections are wrapping around the sliding. Okay, we don't want to glue the sliding feature, we just want to glue the pocket. And now we're gonna add the glue on these 3 sections. Okay, let's just do all 3 at once, and we're going to line this up on these, on the accordion fold. We're just gonna place it on top of that. Okay, so press down, and to make sure that you did not glue your sliding page, we're gonna pull it out. Let's see, let's just pull it out, make sure it's moving. Okay, so that means you are on the right place, and the 1/2 inch sections are under the sliding page. And there we go. So press down, and then so down here on this bottom flap, this just became an interesting piece because we have our sliding pocket here on this side. You can push it all the way. It's hard to see on the black, and I do apologize for that, but you can push it all the way in and kind of have it more hidden, but you can just pull it out, have a little piece coming out so you can see. Slides, stays attached to the pocket, so it's like a nice fun peekaboo page. And then this also becomes a long accordion fold for us to add more features here. And I think I want to do just a couple flaps on that page here, so we're just gonna close that up and make sure that we have enough room to add a little more. And there's always room in my book, so I'm just gonna cut 2 pieces. I'm just gonna do this ones at like 4.5 by 6, so we can add a couple 4 by 6 pictures in here. You know, I have started adding pictures to my books finally, and you will see a video on that because I have been recording a bit of the process. And as much as I love little tiny, you know, secret things in here, I also need a lot more room for 4x6 pictures. So some pictures you can crop just fine, but some you really just want to display the whole thing. And I do like printing small versions of my pictures, but sometimes I just get lazy from editing the pictures and I just print everything on 4x6. And so yeah, so I have a lot of big I think 4x6 it's just like a big scale because I'm so used to the smaller prints, but they do look nice, of course. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the same page where we added that sliding pocket, and I'm just gonna open the whole thing. So I'm back to the original page that opens down, and here I'm going to put my 4x6 layouts. Okay, so my two pieces here, and I think I'm gonna put one up so I don't have everything so symmetrical. You know, I love my symmetry, but I'm gonna put this one up and I'm gonna put this one maybe down so it looks a little different. Okay, so one on each side, and there we go. So now we have just another added feature here, and then we have our accordion fold, and that is all gonna be this bottom section. We have the top section, and now I'm gonna open and open, and then we have these two other flaps, and I do have a little bit of room here, so I think I just will add a couple more layouts to this panel. And I will do, actually I really like those 4x6 features, so I'm gonna do two more pieces of let's do this time 4 and oh, this is gonna be hard to close, so I'm just gonna put it on the side there. So I'm going to do this time 4 and 3/4 by 6 1/4. So let's do here 4 3/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, so just a little bit bigger, 4 3/4 by 6 1/4, and 1/2 inch on both sides. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch on both pieces here along the 4 3/4. Okay, so 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and then we are going to fold along the score lines. And let's bring all of these back. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. So we open the top, we open the bottom, and then we open these two flaps, and we are going to be adding these two, one on each side. Okay, so just another simple flap right there, and press down, and then another one over on the other side. And so we want to try to make it similar to the other one, so just press down. Okay, so now these both open to the side, and then I have the center that opens up. I won't add more to this, we already have this layout right there like that. These will close and these will close. Now for these two flaps, I think these are just cute opportunities to maybe add a floating page. So we're just gonna end up with that. We're gonna cut two pieces, and this could be probably 6 by, let's do 1.5. Okay, so 6 by 1.5. And then I can use, I don't know if I have scraps for this, but we can cut 2 pieces. Maybe we can do this at 4 by 5. Okay, so 4 by 5, maybe even 5.5. Okay, so 4 by 5.5. Okay, and the pieces that are 1.5 by 6, we are going to score along the 6 inches at 1, 2, and 5. And we will do the same here. 1, 2, and 5. And then just fold along the score lines. Wanna fold, fold, and then we're going to fold, fold, and fold. And we're gonna bring back open, opened, opened, open down, and we are here now. So we're gonna open this up, and we're going to add this 1 inch section down. So maybe for this page I do want to add my paper. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut my design paper just for that one page, and these are going to be, let me go ahead and measure this. So we're gonna do 2 pieces at 4.25 by 8.25 to glue that. So let's move this here. Okay, so for this page I will do, so we're gonna do 8.25 by 4.25. Let's do that, and then let's glue those 2 down here. Okay, so let's open. So we are working on the center feature here, the ones that open up, and I'm going to glue this down. Whoops, let's just, I'm running out of space here. Oh, this will be actually smaller. Okay, so I'm going to do, this is actually 8. So we're gonna cut this at 8, not 8.25. Let me make sure. Okay, so yes, so these are gonna be 8 by 4.25. Okay, and then we have the 2. Oh, I really need those magnets here because everything is moving, but okay, let's just try to keep all of these nice and close. Okay, and I'm gonna glue this down. Okay, and place that. And if you don't have your paper selected, you can still add the floating page. You just go around it when you add your paper, but sometimes it's a lot more simple to just add the paper ahead. Okay, so we're gonna do that right here. Okay, and now I'm wondering if I should also add the paper for the background, so maybe I'll just go ahead and do that. So this piece is 4 by 4.75. So I'm just gonna use the same paper, and we're gonna cut this at 3.75. So I'll use this by 4.5. Okay, so I'll use the same, and then we can glue those here. So I'm gonna open that up and add this back there. Okay, so I will do 1 and Let's do that one too. Okay, so I'm just adding the paper on the background here before we add our next layer. And okay, so we are ready now to add these layouts. So we're gonna open this up and you add your background paper, and then you're gonna glue the 1-inch section. So we have the 1-inch and the 2-inch, and we did the same on the previous page on the other video, but we're just gonna go ahead and do the same. Basically, we're gonna add the glue and we're gonna put this on the top panel right there like that. Okay, and then we're gonna fold these two back and add glue here on the second, on the one on the edge, and then we're just gonna close it. And let's let that dry and do the same for the other one. So we're gonna add the 1-inch back here. Okay, so that's gonna go on the opening flap, and then we're gonna fold and add glue right there. So we fold both back and then press down. And we let that dry. So when you open this up, you're gonna have the little section here where we're gonna be able to add your floating page right there. And I'm just gonna glue it, and this is going to kind of come out, but that's okay, that was the intent. So I'm going to add my glue, and then we're gonna put that right there. So I do like leaving a little separation from the back page here, so there's some space there, and then you're gonna close it. Make sure this is going straight when you close it. Okay, and there we go. So now it kind of looks like a waterfall, but when you open this, it's actually a little floating page there. And same thing here. So we're gonna add the glue and place this there, and again we're gonna close it and make sure that it's even, just like that. Okay, and then open that up, close that up, and there you go. I love these little floating pages. They're so simple, but like they just add so much to your page. If you look at it from the side, you have a lot of dimension there on the page. And so those are gonna be the add-ons for this fun folio. This just became even extra interactive. So let's do one final walkthrough. So let's do a final walkthrough of how the folio turned out. Of course, we're gonna decorate these, so I'll come back and show you the placement of the magnets, and maybe we'll even add the paper here together. So we're gonna open this up and open these up, and then so here at the center we have a gatefold page. This opens up like that, and then here we also have the sliding feature, and then each one of these opens and opens. Of course, like I said, I still need all my magnets to make sure everything goes back in place nice and tight. This then opens up. We have a large area for a picture here, same as here, so you will add magnets on this level. Then this opens down, and over here we have a secret little pull down insert here on this pocket, place for a picture. This will open up, and then this will open down. So I don't know if you could see all of that, but a long area here for pictures, and then these two also open up like that. So that's all this section. Here on the center we have your openings that are your platform pages. This opens to the side, same thing here, opens to the side, and then these two open up. And then up here we have another one of those. This is more of like a 3D, and then these two open up like that. So all of that is this center panel. We have 3 sections here, And then we have the section on the right. So this opens up, little place for pictures, opens to the side. Here, this is another sliding page up there. And then this opens and opens. And then here we have another, kind of like another gatefold, up and down. And then these two open like that as well. So you have plenty of room to even add some photo mats in there and just kind of have them tack within all of these on the right side. And then this whole thing closes up like that, and then this closes up like that. And that is your really interactive folio. Super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know if you would like me to make a separate video decorating this book, adding the magnets, and seeing it all come together. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a member to my channel to enjoy bonus tutorials, live crafting with me, and also consider joining my Patreon. So every month I create a digital collection and a tutorial using that collection as well. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Lines are busting out the door, Christmas songs in every store.